Hello everyone, Prosperity here. As of the recording of this video, the Legion pre-expansion patch will be dropping tomorrow, so happy patch day. There have been a lot of changes to the classes and specializations this week, and with this series I hope to help you get a better understanding of what's going on. Welcome to the Retribution Paladin Beginner's Guide for Legion. The Retribution series will follow the same format as the Protection series. This first video will be focused on your combat abilities, broken up into two parts, damage and utility. Your damage abilities are Blade of Justice, Crusader Strike, Divine Storm, Judgment, and Templar's Verdict. Utility spells are Rebuke, Hand of Hindrance, Hammer of Justice, and your three greater blessings, Kings, Might, and Wisdom. The first five shown on screen here are your damage spells, and they make up the core of your combat skills. Your spell priority will depend completely on what build you go with, but getting a general idea of what your base skills are is a good starting point to becoming an exceptional DPS. Blade of Justice is an instant ability with a 10.5 second cooldown that deals a hefty amount of physical damage to the target, generating 2 holy power in the process. This ability will almost always be your top priority, as holy power is a lot harder to come by. You'll use this ability on cooldown, except for if you have 4 holy power, as a loss of holy power directly translates to a loss in overall damage. In that situation, it would be much better to use a Crusader Strike to get to 5, or use one of your spenders before using Blade of Justice again. Crusader Strike is on a 4.5 second cooldown and deals a little less than half of the damage of Blade of Justice. It comes with 2 charges baseline, also generating 1 holy power, making it a great filler spell. As with Blade of Justice, be aware of your holy power and try not to waste any holy power generation at any point. If you're at 4 holy power and both of your generators are on cooldown, the best practice here is to get rid of it instead of waiting to get to 5 holy power. Judgment works a little differently than it used to. It's still on a 12 second cooldown, but now casts on the target and up to 2 nearby enemies. Judgment deals a moderate amount of holy damage and causes all affected targets to take a baseline 12% increased damage from your holy power spenders for 8 seconds. The damage of the spell and the effect that increases your holy power spender damage increases with mastery. Please note, using Judgment does not generate any holy power, meaning that you should wait to use this until you're about to use your spenders. Divine Storm is the first of your holy power spenders. The spell costs 3 holy power to use, dealing holy damage to all enemies around you. This spell is most effective when there are 4 or more enemies around, but the spell radius is around 10 to 12 yards, so be aware of your positioning when using this spell. Templar's Verdict is your single target holy power spender. It also costs 3 holy power to use, and deals a tremendous amount of holy damage to one target. This spell no longer empowers your next Divine Storm, meaning that you no longer need to alternate uses of Templar's Verdict and Divine Storm. The next 4 abilities shown on screen are your utilities. Gaining mastery over your damaging spells is an important part to learning your class, but mastering your utility spells will make you an exceptional player. Rebuke is your interrupt spell, instantly stopping an enemy spell cast and preventing any spell of the same type from being cast for 4 seconds. This spell is on a 15 second cooldown, so communicating with your party or raid team is crucial for making sure your interrupt isn't wasted. Hand of Hindrance has a 30-yard range and a 30-second cooldown. Using this spell reduces an enemy target's movement speed by 70% for 10 seconds, giving you ample time to either run away from an enemy or catch up to them if they're running away from you. Hammer of Justice is your stun ability, stunning an enemy target within 10 yards of you for 6 seconds on a 1-minute cooldown. If you're in a party or raid with a lot of people with stun effects, please note that diminishing returns will make your stuns less effective if you all stun the same target within a short time frame. Lastly, your greater blessings. These are single target buffs that last for 1 hour, and you have access to 3 of them, Kings, Might, and Wisdom. These spells do not do what the old blessings did if you played at any point before now, and are no longer raid or party wide, as you can only have 3 single greater blessings active at one time. You also cannot have more than 1 type of blessing on a single target. However, you can have any combination of the 3 blessings out at a time, including multiples of the same blessing on different members of your group. If you aren't in a party, you should have all 3 of these blessings going on yourself at all times. Greater Blessing of Kings is your defensive blessing, granting your target an absorption shield that automatically refreshes itself every 6 seconds for the full hour, even if the shield is completely depleted at any point. In a party, this is best suited on tanks or any party member that will be taking more damage than the rest of the group for the duration of an encounter. Greater Blessing of Might is your offensive blessing, granting all of the target's attacks a 10% chance to deal 30% additional damage as holy. This blessing should be reserved for the DPSer in your group with the highest damage. Greater Blessing of Wisdom is a support blessing, causing the target to regenerate 1% of their maximum health and mana every 15 seconds. If you have any healers that are having trouble with their mana, this is an excellent way to help them out. If your team isn't having any issues with healing at all, it might be better to skip this blessing altogether. Let's recap. Your main goal is not to spend holy power, but to generate it. Thinking about it in this way will keep you from over-generating and wasting your holy power, which will result in more consistent damage throughput. Aside from keeping your Blade of Justice on cooldown, try to time your judgment for when you have the resources to get at least 2 holy power spenders off in the 8-second window that you have from your judgment. Don't forget to make smart use of your utilities as well, as they very well may mean the difference between a wipe and a kill. Also make sure that your greater blessings are going onto the correct targets for each encounter. That's all for the beginner's guide to the Retribution Paladin in Legion. Hopefully through this guide I've helped you to better understand how the Ret Pally works. If you'd like to see a specific class covered or just want to see more of my videos, be sure to leave a comment below and subscribe. If you have any questions so far about Retribution, you can ask me in the comments or on Twitter at TheLoranzis. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun.